up? Welcome for another edition of My Plate, My Choice. Man, listen, y'all know we in full swing for New Direction Summer Camp, so of course I am on the go. Of course, it is a full court press every day. But that's neither here nor there because we're never gonna miss a Monday. We're never gonna miss an opportunity to get together and to share and to talk and to discuss, the things that are of the utmost importance for us. So here we are. My plate, my choice. What are we talking about today, right? What do we have on the menu for my plate, my choice today? So I apologize for the delay. And I apologize for being tardy, kind of ripping and running between two buildings. But we're here. All right. So, my plate, my choice. Let's get into it. Excuse me. Let's get into it. I want to talk to you guys about something very specific today. Something that I feel like we can all learn and glean from. Of course, we know there are so many fads out there, right? So many fad diets, right? So many like this diet is here today and then it's gone tomorrow, right? So many trending diets, so many fad diets. So I really want to kind of anchor down on that, okay? So I'm gonna ask y'all, well, I'll share something with you guys, right? Before we kind of get too deep. I will share with you guys what the definition of a fad is, right? A fad is a practice or interest followed for a time with exaggerated zeal. All right. So, what is a fad? A fad is a practice or interest followed for a time with exaggerated zeal. A fad, right? You notice we call, you can't, I hear a message that says you cannot hear me. Guys, the only one, yes, no, maybe so. Let's do it this way then. You guys still can't hear me? Can you hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? Give me a yes if you can hear me. I got one message. Okay, you hear me. Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay. I saw somebody's message that said you guys can hear me, so I wanted to make sure. Okay, cool. All right, so listen. So talking about fad diets, I've often been asked, like, George, what do you think about this diet, or what do you think about this, and what do you think about this, or do you recommend trying this? I'll be so honest with you guys. I'm gonna be super honest and super transparent. Okay. All right. So we talked about before we got off track. A fad, a practice or interest followed for a time with exaggerated zeal. Now, you hear these things called fad diets, right? We've all heard them. We've probably tried a few of them, right? Fad diets. We tried a few. I'll name a couple for you, all right? So you have the keto diet, you've got the paleo diet, you've got intermittent fasting, you've got the low fat diet, you've got the low carb diet, you've got the Atkins diet, you've got the South Beach diet, right? You've got so many options that you can jump into, right? Can we be honest? How many of us have tried a fad diet before, right? How many of us have tried a fad diet? Yes, I want to see some yeses. How many of us have tried fad diets before, right? I know we have. I have, right? And it's always this kind of trial and error thing, right? It's always this kind of, it's a little iffy, right? Why? I see you, Phyllis. I see you, right? They don't last. The question that I'm asking is this: why don't the fad diets last? Right? Fad diets are usually accompanied by some celebrity or some level of an endorsement to say, oh man, this is a great diet. Here's why you guys should try it. But let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. Why don't fad diets last? Because they're not sustainable. They're not sustainable, right? There's something that you can get excited about, and there's something that you can do for a short period of time, but it's not something that you can continue to do with longevity, right? It tends to be a little too taxing, right? Or it tends to get a little overwhelming. It tends to get a little old. You get tired of trying to track and count points and do this and do that. Like everything has its own nuances that go with it. And so they don't last. Typically, fad diets are good in a short time span. So, for instance, you got a wedding that you're trying to get into a dress for, right? You got a class reunion, you want to see some people, you don't have a lot of time. So you start, I'm gonna do this fad diet real quick or this crash diet. I'm gonna do something, like I'm gonna make it happen really quick, right? That's kind of how we move. We move with those things for a purpose or for a reason, right? But because of that, not last. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Why? Let's go back to this. Let's break down like this. I can remember being in math class, right? I can remember being in math class, and my math teachers would always say, when we got work, they would always say one thing: simplify the problem first. Yeah, simplify the problem first, right? Because if you simplify the problem, you make it a bit easier to go into the next step. Excuse me. If you simplify the problem, you make it easier to get to step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many however many steps go with that problem. You simplify it. The reason why we don't do well on fad diets is because it's hard to simplify those, because there's so many different things that you have to measure up to. What we have to do is figure out, how do we simplify everyday life? How do we simplify everyday life? How do I simplify every meal choice that I'm about to make? How can I simplify it? I'm going to eat breakfast. I'm going to eat lunch. I'm going to eat dinner. Yo, we got to simplify it, right? Stop trying to have all these different things these different checklists. Oh man, I got to do this and I got to do this. Like I can remember at one particular time in my life, right? I was trying the keto diet, and I'm not knocking it. Anybody that does these, hey, more power to you. It works for you. It works for you. Cool, whatever, right? But I tried the keto diet, and the thing that I didn't like about it was I felt like in the overall, like, because they call you to eat a whole lot of fat, and they tell you, well, you eat more fat, your body's gonna burn the fat. Da, da, da. But something about it just it wasn't adding up for me, right? I just didn't like stockpiling my body with a lot of fat, and it just didn't work for me, right? So I had to figure out, how do I simplify what I'm gonna do every single day? And I'm saying that for you, we've got to get to the baseline, right? We've got to get to the baseline. What do we need to do? All right, so let's look at it. Let's look at it. Because fad diets are good, but they're, like I said, they're only good for short periods of time. It's hard to maintain them. And the reason why it's hard to maintain them, again, because A, we don't simplify, and B, we never flip that switch. So we're doing the fad diet for a reason, not a lifestyle. Yeah. You're doing it for a reason, not a lifestyle. You know me, I promote lifestyle changes. I promote doing things that you're able to, one, simplify, and B, maintain. See, the thing about losing weight, the thing about overall health is this C word that people do not like and we act like we're allergic to. It's called consistency. Your body is going to respond to what you do consistently, right? We talked about this 2 weeks ago. So when it comes to breaking down, how do I need to eat every day, George? What do I need to do? What steps? Let's simplify it and let's figure out what you can do consistently. I already know you can drive to a fast food restaurant consistently. I know that. Yeah. We know you can order out consistently. Yeah, we know that too. Yeah. We know you can pull up at somebody's barbecue consistently. We know you can do that too. So see, you don't have a problem with the word consistency. You have a problem with doing the right thing consistently, doing the beneficial thing consistently, doing the thing that's going to help your body most consistently. That's where the problem starts, right? So we got to simplify it. You don't have to, guys, listen. We do not have to do this big overhaul and say, oh my God, I got to change everything in my life. I want you to start with your plate and your meals. We got to start looking at breakfast. Breakfast. George, what is a solid breakfast? Okay, we like eggs, right? We like egg whites, right? We can find a way to like turkey sausage, right? Or we love chicken. Grill a chicken breast. Like, there are so many ways that we can do this to make it something that you can do consistently, right? So you can consistently cook a breakfast. Now, you don't have to cook breakfast every day. You can, listen to me. I cook breakfast once a week, but I cook it for the entire week. It goes in the freezer. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to grab my breakfast and go. And I've shared with you guys before what I eat for breakfast. And I don't mind sharing with you guys again today. I don't mind. Right? My breakfast is a couple of whole eggs, egg whites, bell pepper, jalapeno pepper, what else? Turkey sausage, of course, seasonings that I like. And I do like an egg scramble. And I just eat that, and I'll sprinkle some fat-free mozzarella cheese in there. And that's what I eat every day for breakfast. And I got my protein shake right there and some yogurt. I can maintain that every day for the rest of my life. Ask me how. I've been doing it for the last probably 7, 8, 9, 10 months. Right? So I found something that I like and that I can eat and do consistently. And that's what I'm saying. Simplify it. What do you like? You know the foods that you like. So don't say, oh man, like I'm trying to do better and make better decisions. So as a result, I got to go eat these things that I don't like. No, let's stick with what you like. You love chicken. Okay, cool. So we're going to do chicken breast, right? You love salmon. Okay, so we can do salmon for lunch. We can do salmon with broccoli. We can do salmon with Brussels sprouts. We can do salmon with rice. We can do salmon with squash and zucchini. We can do salmon with spinach. Like we can do salmon with green beans. Simplify it. It doesn't have to be so complex. Simplify it. See, fad diets catch you because they make it sound fun. It's trending. You got a lot of people that may be doing it in the moment, and then it just kind of goes away. Why does it just kind of go away? Because people cannot sustain it. People can't sustain it. And when people can't sustain it, what do? They revert back to what they always do. They revert back to what's easy. They revert back to eating out. They revert back to ordering pizza. They revert back to the bad things. I'm trying to help everybody right now simplify your life, starting with your plate. Man, there's so many different ways you can prepare a chicken breast. You like taco salad? You can still do taco salad a clean way. You like you like wings? We can grill them. We can smoke them. There are so many ways that absolutely Karen Alford, my aunt. Yes, you got to drop the connector. Now listen, you got to drop the connector. You got to drop it. It's no other way around it. Now, certain things you're going to have to drop. Yes, certain things you're going to have to drop. But with dropping those things, we're going to make sure we keep things that we do like on a regular rotation, right? We're going to keep things we do like on a regular rotation. All right, so, and even with the connector, let me just say this though, right? So you can have it periodically. Enter the chat with cheat meals. And I'm not pushing cheat meals regularly. I'm not pushing cheat meals every day. I'm not pushing cheat meals every week. But I'm saying if you're going to do the right thing consistently and you do it 80 to 90% of the time, they do have a rule out there called the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of the time you eat and do the right thing, and 20% of the time you allow yourself some little, things that you don't really need. You allow those things in there. Periodically, yes, periodically, not consistently. Periodically, you open the door for those things to come in. But what happens is we open the door and then we never close it. So now we were consistent over here with being on track, but now we're consistent with eating the wrong things. That's where we keep losing the battle. And that's where we keep going backwards. We got to stop going backwards, and we got to find a way to simplify what you do and simplify what you like so that you can sustain it. The overall goal is to do this more often than not. You like shrimp. Oh my God, there's so many different ways to prepare these things. Like I don't get tired of it. Let me say this. Let me not say I don't get tired of it, because there are times I do get tired of things. But guess what I do when I get tired? I find another way to prepare it. There are so many different seasonings out here and so many different sauces that are actually good sauces that you can use. And like I'll prepare a meal in 1 week, and I might prepare that same meal with 2 or 3 different flavors and seasonings, so that even though I'm eating the same thing, it feels like I'm eating something different. Simplify what you do. Simplify it. Oh man, listen, we can get creative. I'm gonna give you a couple options. We can get so creative with a chicken breast. I'll show you right now, right? You can grill a chicken breast. And we stick with chicken breast right now. You can grill a chicken breast, right? You can air fry a chicken breast. You can bake a chicken breast. You can cook a chicken breast on the skillet. You can chop it up and you can have chopped chicken breast. You can shred it up and make a pulled chicken sandwich. You can shred it up and put it on top of a sweet potato. You can, chop it up and put it in top, and you can have Mexican. You can get Quest chips. Y'all remember I introduced you to Quest chips. So you can get Quest chips. You can do your chopped chicken breast. You can do salsa. Boom. You're able to still have Taco Tuesday. You can get what is it? You can get a taco shell that works, or a tortilla wrap that works. Remember I told you to look at the nutrition label. So we can read through the nutrition read through the nutrition label and make sure that we address those things and make sure that they work within the scope of what we're using. You can do that. People, it's a way to do this. Simplify it. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Do not make it. Simplify the process. And every other week when I come here, I'm giving you guys tools and I'm giving you guys little pieces, little bullet points to help you simplify the overall goal. How do I change my life with my plate? One plate at a time. One meal at a time. One meal at a time. We start making the adjustments. Well, what's the first adjustment? Stop eating out. Stop eating out. Yeah, stop eating out. That's the first adjustment. That's the first tool that we have to change. We got to stop eating out. I promise you. Chick-fil-A is good. Yes. KFC is good. Yep. Whatever. Wherever you like to go. I love Waffle House. Waffle House is great. Yep. Wendy's, Arby's, Zaxby's, all that. Whatever. They're great. But are they getting you to your overall goal? The answer is always going to be a resounding no. So I'll give you guys another prime example. Like I was really craving some French fries, right? I was craving some French fries. I wanted some French fries so bad. So what did I say? I said, okay, well, let's break down how can I still have what I want and not do the wrong thing. I will tell you guys, this meal is like one of my go-tos actually. So I'll go to the store, I'll get some potatoes. I'll cut the potatoes really thin, right? I'll season them, throw them in the air fryer, right? And I mean, they're so good, like I literally can eat the sliced potatoes by themselves, right? So then I'll put them on a plate. So then I'll go get a chicken breast. These are loaded fries. I'll go get a chicken breast that I grilled. I will shred it up, lay that across my fries. And then I'll get my fat-free mozzarella cheese, lay that across the top of that. And then I get some sugar-free barbecue sauce or some sugar-free another sauce. I'll put that on there. Boom. Guess what? I didn't have to go to Chick-fil-A to satisfy that appetite of having French fries. I didn't have to go to Arby's or McDonald's to satisfy that craving of fries. I simplified the process and I made it at home. And that's what I'm saying. We can always think through the process and find a way to do it and do it at an easier level. But you just have to be willing to make a decision. You have to be willing to make a decision. When I get tired of eating salmon like the regular way, man, I'll make some salmon bites. I'll take that same plank of salmon, I'll cut it up into smaller bites, season them up, air fry them. I told you I'm a sauce guy. Like I love sauce. So I'll sauce them up. Boom. Now I'm no longer eating the whole plank of like the whole piece that I've cut. I got these salmon bites. Mentally, I have just told my brain you're getting a different meal, same meal, but my mind is going to look at it and diagnose it differently. So now I'm no longer going to be bored. Now I'm no longer going to be like, oh man, I'm tired of eating salmon. I just found a new way to flip it and make a whole new meal out of it. Absolutely, Miss Smith. Yeah, oftentimes we are just being lazy. Yeah. So what keeps us from being able to have progression in our fitness goal and in our lifestyle is our inability to get out of our comfort zone. Do I always feel like cooking? No. I promise. I do not always feel like cooking. I love to cook. I don't always feel like cooking because I'm tired. but I understand this is a sacrifice that I have to make. This is a sacrifice. So then I'll start trying to figure out, well, what am I craving right now? Right? What am I craving? Because we all have those cravings, right? So what am I craving? And I'm going to try to cook things that are close to what I'm craving, but it's going to be good for me. I made a pizza. Oh man, listen, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. And I promise you, I could get some testimonials from my prep clients about I found out how to make some pizza that's you don't even use bread. You don't even use bread. Like the crust of the pizza is ground chicken. So you don't even have bread anywhere in the pizza. When I tell you all, listen to me. It's amazing. And I can eat it and it's a change. So when I have that pizza craving, I know a healthy way to satisfy the pizza craving. I'm going to do that. I make that, boom, now I got it. So the point that I make, that's why I said in the beginning, simplify what you do so that longevity is what we're after. We're after longevity in our lives, and we're after longevity as far as staying on track. Staying on track. Okay, y'all need the recipe? Okay, I got y'all. Everybody got pen and paper. Now I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tell y'all how I season it. Like, come on, I can't give all the secrets, right? But I will tell you guys the outline of the recipe for the pizza. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Everybody got a pen and paper out? I will give you guys. You want some pizza and you don't want to go to Papa John's, you don't want to go to Pizza Hut, you want to still be able to stay on track and it's good. I got you. All right. So go to the store. You get a pack of ground chicken, right? Your ground chicken. So you take the ground chicken out. You're going to use some parchment paper, lay the parchment paper across the pan, and you're going to spread the ground chicken out across the pan. And you want to spread it out to where it's really thin. You don't want it like sitting off the pan like this. You want it down like this. So you want to spread it. Now you're going to oil the parchment paper, of course, right? And so you're going to rub it. And your hands, I use gloves. Sometimes I use my hands. Sometimes it just depends, right? So, but you want to keep kind of barely tapping out, you know what I mean, the ground chicken. Well, hold on, pause, step back. I apologize. Ground chicken goes in a bowl. In that bowl with that 1 pack of ground chicken, and that 1 pack is a pound of ground chicken. So in that pound of ground chicken, you're going to do 1 whole egg, and you're going to do 1 cup of fat-free mozzarella cheese, right? Boom. Pour that in there. Now, you mix all that in. You season that, right? Season it however you want to season it. Now, boom. Now you go to the pan. Spread it out across the pan to where the crust is really thin. You're going to put that in the oven. You're going to bake that on 400 for 40 minutes. So you're going to let that ground chicken cook, right? So after the 40 minutes hit, you're going to pull out the pan. Now, you're going to come with your marinara sauce that you use. And there are so many different levels of marinara sauce. The one I use is a sugar-free marinara sauce. It's still really good, right? So I spread the marinara sauce across that. And then I come back with the fat-free mozzarella cheese again, right? Give it my base layer. And then I put the toppings on it that I like. Like I'll put some pineapples on there. I might put some grilled chicken, some jalapenos, some onions, some bell pepper, some cilantro. I love cilantro, right? And then I go back in the oven for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then you bring it out. Boom. You got a pizza that has no bread. You're going to get a ton of protein. Remember I talked to you guys about protein early on. Now you're going to get a ton of protein. And I'm not like this recipe guru. I just find ways to cook what I like and what I desire in a way that's going to keep me from being fat and being out of shape and being overweight. I don't want to live that life. So because I don't want to live that life, you all think about how much you research a trip when you want to go somewhere you want to travel. Man, you do all this research to find the hotel and find a place that you think, I got a travel agent. Her name's Judith Matthews, right? So, but for some other people, right, you just go do all this research and you boom, 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 you go look all this stuff up. You're investing time to find what you want, right? You got to go to a party or a function, an event. You're going to find the outfit. You're going to kind of look at some looks. No, Judith Matthews, my mom. No, I cannot prepare some samples. No. Man, okay, so listen, right? So you're going to research like outfits. You're going to look at kind of looks that you want to kind of achieve for this party. What are you doing? You're investing time to figure out how to do what you want to do. This is not rocket science. Take that same energy and invest it into figuring out ways to cook what you desire in a healthy format. That's it. That's it. Sure, like, yeah, you're not going to be able to go get, the fried chicken wings and the Cajun ranch fries. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that. consistently. Now you can do it periodically. You can do it periodically, but not consistently, right? Here's the point. Here's the overall ball of wax. Simplify what you desire. Simplify it. That's the goal. Simplify it. Find a recipe. You can Google search. What is a healthy recipe for whatever? They have healthy recipes for desserts so that you're not loading your body with sugar. You know, like a lot of times I can do I do like a Alfredo. I do an Alfredo, right? And it's so good. And so what I do with the Alfredo, I'm giving you guys another recipe. So I hope you got your pen and paper, right? So I'll get the protein pasta. Of course, I throw that in there, boil the protein pasta, put some bay leaves in there. You know, you gotta get that pasta some flavor, right? So I put the bay leaves in there while it's boiling. I'll grill it. I'm a fan of grilling my stuff because I feel like that grilled flavor just kind of takes over once I start eating, right? But then I'll make my Alfredo sauce. How do I make it? I make it with cottage cheese. I know you're like, oh, cottage cheese. I used to think the same way, but you can't even taste it. But it just gives you a consistency, right? So I go cottage cheese, of course, fat-free mozzarella cheese. And you may say, George, well, why do you only use fat-free mozzarella cheese? If you look at the nutrition label, you'll understand why. When I use cheese, I use fat-free mozzarella cheese. I don't use sharp cheddar, pepper jack. I don't use any of that. I use fat-free mozzarella cheese. Go look at the nutrition label and you will understand why it works for a lot of, if I need cheese, that's what I'm going for, right? So I'll drop in some fat-free mozzarella cheese. I'll use like one or two of the Laughing Cow little cheese blocks, drop that in there, drop some seasoning in there, put it in the blender, blend it up. Now I got my Alfredo sauce. It's not as fat as the Alfredo sauce that you'll get if you go to Olive Garden. It's a lot better for you. You can eat it. Matter of fact, I just ate one today, right? I'll drop some tomatoes in there, some bell pepper in there, of course, some cilantro. But I'm telling you guys this, like, you don't have to look at this and say, in order to achieve the goal, I can't have the things that I enjoy. You can absolutely have the things that you enjoy. We just have to figure out how to simplify that to get it in that box of what works for you on this goal. That's it. Here's why we get together every Monday or every other Monday so that we can brainstorm and talk about how to do this together. I am here always for every question that you guys may have. Of course, you know, I pay attention to the chat, so I answer them as they pop up. But that's what I'm here for, so that we can make this change together, not for a month, not for 30 days, not for 60 days, for the lifespan of our lives. We're going to make these changes together. I don't care what age you are. It's never too late to start. God gave you a new day so that you have a new day to not repeat the same mistakes that you made yesterday. This is a refresh, a reset, fresh 24 hours. So don't look back at what you did and say, man, George, I had a terrible weekend. That's cool. You had a terrible weekend. Today's Monday. We're going to start fresh. Or if you already went bad, don't even worry about it. We're going to start fresh tomorrow. You got this. Using fat-free mozzarella today on stuffed bell peppers. Miss Lee, listen, I'm going to tell you this. I didn't even used to like stuffed bell peppers until I started doing them myself. Like stuffed bell peppers, oh man, that's another little cheat code. That's another cheat code. I'll share that for another day. You know, I use my ground turkey and the rice, put that in that fat-free mozzarella cheese, season it up. Oh man, listen, I'm telling you, that's a meal in and of itself. So there's so many ways for us to do this. We just have to what? Make a decision. The first decision starts up here. The next decision is the corresponding action. You think about it, you make the change here. Now we have our action that lines up with that, and we're on track to move in the right direction, all right? Hey, listen, thank you guys so much